Have you ever seen a plant like this in your neighbor's garden? You probably have if you live in the Kansas City metro or anywhere south of here, as they're very popular. What I'm holding here is known as the Colocasia plant, or more commonly, elephant ear. They are originally from the Pacific, very popular on the Pacific Islands. However, in the last 100 to 200 years or so, they have spread worldwide. They are known worldwide both for their prowess and decoration. You can see how very pretty this plant is, the leaf that I'm showing you. Uh, but they are also edible, actually. Every part of this plant is edible, from the big leaf to the stem that drops it, or the man that drops it, to the stem that holds it, all the way down woo, to these little root balls in here that are actually, if you've ever seen taro chips at the store, taro chips come from that root ball. So today we're going to learn about the colocasia, but more specifically, because it's so popular, good for decoration, and to eat, we're going to learn how to take one of these plants and multiply it. So, like I just mentioned, here are the big leaves. That's the less pretty leaf that I wasn't showing you. But you can see it's got a bunch of leaves. Some are old and dying, some are still unfurling. But most importantly, what I want y'all to see is down here. It looks like we have a bunch of different stems coming up out of the pot, and that's actually completely normal. See this one up here, the big one? That was my original one. Number 2, number 3, number 4. These plants actually self-multiply. Okay, so before we get to transplanting anything, just like most transplants, what you're going to want to do is make sure that the soil you are transplanting to and the soil you're transplanting from is nice and hydrated. This will make it more successful in transplanting, it'll make it healthier and easier to withstand this shock, and it'll make it a whole lot less dusty when you're working with it. So what I'm going to do here first is get my trowel ready, of course, then find a place in between the two plants and dig straight down. The goal is to try and leave as much root for both the parent plant, that center one, and the new transplanted plant. Now, I'll give you a better look at this in a second, but first, let's go ahead and look at that root ball. So after I've taken it out, what you can see, actually where I cut it right there, you see that circle? That is the root ball, or the beginnings of a smaller root ball. Around it you can see all those roots still growing. Those are necessary for a transplant. You want to make sure when you're cutting that you leave some of those roots on your transplant so that it can grow well in its new pot. And just like any old regular old transplant, what you want to do is make room in your new pot, press it in there nice and compact, not too compact, and then finish the top with soil. All set. Okay, so now an up close view of what I just did. We're going to go ahead and start with the small one here, but the process is just the same. Although I will say for the small ones, you got to be a little extra careful. So what you want to do is take your trowel, find a spot in between the root balls on the soil. What I like to do is count down and then make it all in one go. So I'll show you here. Just dig straight on down. It can be a little tough, but make sure you dig all the way down so that it actually fully disconnects. You really don't want to rip any. You'd want to do mostly cutting. This is a little sloppy, but I'm keeping it in so that you all can see it can be done. Anyways, there it is. So there's our baby colocasia, and you can see it still has those nice roots attached to what looks like a brand new root ball, so it should be good to transplant. In it goes, and on we move to the next one, our second largest. So the process is again the same. First things first, we find a place on the soil in between the two root balls. You can see me drawing a line there where I'm going to cut with the trowel. You line up your trowel, and then again, I like to count down, make it real dramatic. One, made a noise here that made the neighbor's dog yell. Anyways, you cut straight down until you've got it completely loose. You'll feel a difference in the trowel when it has actually separated. Now these are pretty sturdy plants, so you should be able to pull it up by the stem, but make sure you grab everything at once so that you don't accidentally pull a leaf off, because sometimes there's only one leaf to pull off. Anyways, this one came out nice and easy just as well. So I'm going to show you again the root ball here, hopefully a little bit better view this time. That circle, again, just like last time. So look right here of the plant, parts of the plant that are edible. This right here is the tuber. So over there on the right, you'll see a taro chip. Now that comes from the tuber part of the taro plant, which is in the Colocasia family. So this one's got a nice big root ball and lots of good roots. Let's transplant it. Now, once you've got everything transplanted, all that's left is simply finishing. And that's as easy as making sure you have soil at the top or close to the top of your pots and getting it nice and wet. This is again to help the plant with the transition period from original pot to transplant. But it really is just that simple. So thank you again for coming to this video to hopefully learn a thing or two about colocasia, transplanting, and multiplication. It really is easy, and these things are a food staple in a lot of the world, so it's my opinion more people ought to know how to multiply them. And also they're quite pretty. I mean, I've set these up in my front garden. I'll show you here. Uh, I just really love the way that they look. So thanks again. Hope you have a wonderful day and good growing.